Hello everybody, this is Simon with a showcase of Castlevania Circle of the Moon Randomizer. This is a beta version which last I heard is no longer being worked on. However, I've seen it played a few times and it appears rather robust. Because Circle is not nearly as popular as Aria of Sorrow, instead of just starting, I will take a bit of time to show you how a randomized ROM is generated. You can use this as a guide to do it yourself, and I will explain what the settings mean as I go along. Shouldn't take too long. First of all, there is a seed file here, which I will just quickly open. It only contains 4 digits. This is the default seed. I've tried it a little bit. It looks rather fun actually, but I want to have something random where I don't know what to expect. I will use these numbers here instead, which is just as a little homage, the last 4 digits of the thread ID of the ROM hack thread on something awful. Ctrl S and close this, and now it's saved here. Now you need a legally obtained Circle of the Moon ROM, and you can pull this on top of the random executable, which will open a DOS window here. And now it just enter again, and it tells you which seed it's using. And now we can continue. Just a few more confirmations, and here is where we set the settings specifically. Just to go through them real quick, number 1 I won't do, that's for advanced players going through an area which constantly damages you even without having the item that will protect you from it. If you are familiar with Metroid randomizers, this is basically like requiring a Norfair run with Alvaria suit. Number 2, enable permanent dash. I don't mind having to double tap to dash, so I will not put this on, just so that it's how I'm used to, but you can do this as a quality of life thing. Number 3 is touch disabling a glitch. I can just not do that. Number 4 is very interesting. There is a certain switch in the game, top right of the castle basically, where after killing a boss you can destroy certain Iron Maidens, which will block some paths. I will actually activate this because it makes for more interesting routing. So I just press 4, enter, it's done. Number of last keys, that is basically what you need to open the door to Dracula. It's default to 1. The videos I've watched of this being run, I found it a bit more interesting to look for more of them, because this is basically what you absolutely definitely need, plus a few skills of course to even get there, but I personally think that's more interesting to have something like 3 keys, which is what I'm going to put in. I just saw that the last time I tested this, you have to first change the number on the pedestal, so that's why I started with 6, and then you have to change the number of last keys required. So you can actually, for example, set 5 keys on pedestals, but you only need 3 keys, which is something which I also could do, for example, but let's keep it like this. Disable item randomization is not what I want. Random item hard mode. Bad items dropped by bad enemies. Leave it like this right now. If I get something overpowered super early, then that's just the way it is. Optional balance changes, kind of interesting. This is something where you can patch the game basically to balance it a little bit better, because it originally is kind of imbalanced. That's a Circle is not without its flaws, even though I personally really like it. I do want to increase the projectile damage by familiars. We're not going to screw around with the sub-weapons though. Just in case I do get a familiar combo, I want them to be able to do anything, because familiars are really, really bad in the original. Go back to one sub-menu. As you can see, the what you have to do is just spelled out, so that's nice. Number 10, I personally don't need. I think I'm fine with the pace of the game, but this is a godsend for speedrunners, because they can just zoom through the game. If you're doing repeated runs, it's perfect for you, but for me, I just want to have some time to explain stuff, especially for the first time here. Number 11 is also quite interesting if you if you want to switch things up, if you're doing this a bunch of times. I'm not doing this. Number 12 I think is really, really nice. It's just showing you if you missed something, because the game has a lot of secret rooms. I know most of them. I have 100%ed it before, but I might miss one, and if I'm like, okay, but I checked everything I know of, then I can easily check, wait, there must be something specifically here. Number 13 is randomize where the sub-weapons is. Like, I don't really remember where all of the sub-weapons are, but for example, there's always an X drop before the first boss. The X is pretty good against the first boss, but I don't mind randomizing it personally, so I'm gonna do it. And that's it. We're done here. So what I can do now is as it says above, enter again, or go 0 to go back one menu, and now it's patching, and we press enter to close, and the ROM is ready. One more thing, this is complete with the folder itself you get from unpacking the randomize itself. You have this here, which is quite interesting. You can get a combo of cards to freeze or petrify enemies, and it helpfully tells you that once you do get those, it's in logic that it is required, and there are some spots where it's not super obvious that you can actually get up there. So for beginners, it actually just tells you, by the way, you can get through these rooms. So that's quite nice, and I might consult it at some point, because again, I'm not super 1000% familiar with the randomizer specifically. It also gives you a map, so it's a little bit zoomed out, of course, so you can see here the entire thing. That's also quite handy, of course. If I'm missing a secret room somewhere, I can just check. I am, as I said, relatively familiar with Circle, so I won't do it immediately or have it open on the side, but this is a quite nice failsafe in case I ever need it. But enough talk, have at you. I have patched it, so I can now open it in my emulator of choice. I've been using BizHawk for these, and there we go. And now we should be able to hear the game and everything, so let's get this started. So, we could, theoretically, as you just saw, all of the extra modes are unlocked. I'm just going to not bother with that, do a normal playthrough with a default vampire killer character, but if you want to switch it up, you can absolutely do a magician run. In case you don't know, every time you finish this game with the normal default character, I'm going to skip the intro, but we will have some more time to talk about stuff, which is called the Vampire Killer, then you get an unlock, where basically the game tells you, okay, you can now play as a magician, where all of the cards, or the whole magic system is unlocked from the start. But your physical stats are garbage. It's still really good, it's extremely overpowered, it's really fun. And if you play through the game with that, then you can unlock the fighter mode, where you cannot use magic, but your physical stats are instead overpowered. And that is actually the easiest way to play the game. So the third playthrough is really simple. Then you can unlock a shooter mode, where all of your sub-weapons are extremely good, that's pretty tough. And then you get the thief as the final unlock, where you get a lot of item drops really quickly. Even though your stats are pretty terrible, you can get super overpowered stuff from enemies without having to farm too much, including the cards, so that's nice. Yeah, that's basically that, and we can start playing the game. First thing you do is just go down real quick. There is no reason to kill the enemies right here, right now. I watched enough speedruns to know where this goes. But you can actually kill them if you slide into them accidentally, and I actually got my first equipment immediately. That's not the normal drop, so that's good, it's randomized. And that's the wristband. And with that, we should have some sound here, but I've had this the first time where I played, and it actually also, yeah, there it is. I don't know why the sound cut out there. It might be an issue with the randomizer being, as I said, a beta version. It might also be that the emulator is not perfect for it. I don't know, but it doesn't really matter too much. As I said, most of the time it's just getting back. That's also a super speedrun trick, of course. You can just walk. Oh, by the way, you can also sprint from the start. That's a quality of life feature that the randomizer added, and I'm glad for it. So that also does mean that you don't have to... That's nice. You don't have to keep waiting to get the run until you are you find it randomly. It just gives it to you. I am going to kill this guy first because it gives a lot of XP, and also because it might drop something nice, of course. Oops. So the idea basically here is it telegraphs where the ground spikes are going to come from, and then you just jump over them and kill him. Easy enough. Nothing here, no level up, it's fine. Also, I don't want him hassling me. And when I first played this game, I didn't really know that you could slide immediately. That was a bit, yeah, annoying, because there were a bunch of item checks, I think there is onto the bottom left actually, where I didn't even realize that you can get them immediately. Is it here? No, it's not next door. And up there I think you can also not get it immediately, so let's just continue. Alright, I'm not strong enough to slide through the skeleton here, so the slide is not like super powerful, be all end all, of course. Oops. got poisoned, but whatever. If it does not kill the enemy in one hit, then you will be damaged at the same time as the enemy is. That's okay. The antidotes, of course, is also randomized, the drop, but is not too bad, because generally it just deals a little bit of damage and then we're fine. So here I'm just going to run, and this is the first item where I didn't know that you could just immediately get it when I was first playing the game. A bit embarrassing because, you know, I played it without a manual. Can't go up here. If I had found the kick boots, that's something that is actually in the default seed. You can get there up there immediately and get your first item basically out of order. And of course, all of the extra items which we found. Oh, what's that? That's a double grips. Okay. The double grips are one of the most broken item in the game. It's extremely good equipment for the item slot. I think this is the optional path, if I remember correctly. Wow, thanks. I'll take that. I might make my life easier just with that. That's actually quite nice. Nice int, higher mana regeneration, if I remember correctly. Let's see here. I just have to kill all of the boneheads I see, but the drop rate isn't too bad. Oh, that's very convenient, of course. Max HP increase, that also heals you full. So in the normal game, if you know where all of these are, you can sustain yourself basically with them. Don't have to rely on the safe rooms. Did I come from here? No. Always get confused by these rooms. Ah, that's the exit, right? In the randomize, of course, you don't know where everything is. Alright, is this a secret room? It's not. I should have known because you can see where a secret room is, but oh, that's our first card, that's nice. And actually an X. I don't know if that is default an X here, but let's see here. Don't remember exactly what Saturn does, but we will see once we get our second card. The first card alone is completely useless. If you don't know how the system works, don't worry, I will explain it. Have I been everywhere? I think to the left I will circle around to the bottom, so that's what I'm going to do first. Sure, why not? Yeah, this one here is a big room that will deposit me back at the bottom again. Can easily prevail against the spare skeletons if you just stuck. I was just impatient. This is also not a secret room. It's not here. And second double grips. Not yet, not yet. You shall pay for your insolence. There we go. Easy enough. All the enemies always respawn when you go out one room, of course. That's standard Castlevania stuff. Mercury, that I think we have, no, we have now 2 on top. Okay, so it doesn't help as well. So I need a card that is on the bottom and 1 on the top. As you can see, it is default in the randomizer that the cards are now on pedestals like normal items. Ultimately, because the cards are no longer random drops, and extremely rare random drops I should add, this is one of the biggest flaws that Circle has. There we go, we're back here. Doesn't really matter that I didn't see one of the squares. Because the cards are no longer random drops, some of the pedestals are now no longer like hard ups or whatever, but that doesn't really matter. Have I been anywhere here? Let's see here. Wait. My touchpad on the TS4 controller screwing me. I have not been to the right here, which I think might be a safe room actually. Let me just quickly check. Is this it? Oh, it's already too low. As I said, this room is very confusing to me. Even though I've played this game a bunch of times, I've unlocked... Ah, here it is. I've unlocked all of the classes and stuff. Yeah, it's a safe room. Very good, very safe. That means I did play through it 5 times on the Castlevania Advanced Collection, because I really like Circle. I think it's a great game. Even though I did this, these opening stages are still a little bit confusing for me, because it has big rooms. I was just watching a video actually, wow, amazing, by Jupiter Climb, the speedrunner whose videos I watched showing me this randomizer actually. Shout outs to him, he's a great entertainer and speedrunner in general. Very recommend his stuff. Wow, I'm really bad at this. Cure Curse, huh? Get 20,000 of those. We can't actually get up there to the second check, but we can get the first one, that's fine. He mentioned that Circle is the game that has the most big rooms in all of the Castlevanias. So just like these very, very large, expansive rooms with like 20 exits from them, like not 20, but like 5 exits easily. That is definitely a circle-only thing. You do have big rooms in Aria and in Symphony or whatever, but they are not nearly as prevalent as they are here, and that does mean that just from where even are the exits, you can easily get confused. Right, you can't slide on these platforms. Still didn't get the second double grips, but it's fine. I'm not interested in like breaking the game right now. There will be plenty of opportunity to kill some dudes who can drop them. Because there is of course going to be some manner of backtracking here as I unlock more abilities and have to do some extra checks at the start. But yeah. Just because it hasn't been mentioned, whenever I... Is that something worthwhile? I don't think so. Whenever I do dash like that, like here, you see me stagger a little bit. That's because, as I've mentioned before offhand, it is a double tap. So otherwise you walk like this and you have to double tap forward so that Nathan gets his ass in gear. It's a terrible system. In general, yeah, I'm used to it because I said I played the game a bunch, and it's not like I can patch the Advanced Collection on Switch, I should note. But it's not ideal. Let's just keep it like that. I think up here is the boss room, and the second one is the safe. No, the bottom one is the safe room. So here you just get a quick card, actually, usable one. Cockatrice. Yes. All right. So we activate a card up here, and we activate a card down here. Now we have a stone whip, which is very interesting, because using stoned enemies as platforms, as the game tells us, that does mean that we have now access to some checks which we didn't have before. And the other one is Medusa Familiar. Ah, very nice. We can try this now that I actually increased the damage of familiars. See? I sometimes know what I'm doing. Let's not do it here because I can just slide back through the enemies which are damaged before. There we go. Let's kill the last one just to see if it drops something. Nothing. Okay, cool. So the safe room should be here. No, that's progress. No, right, there is no safe room here. Silly me. Do I go back to save? I think now I go back to save because now I have the leather armor. It's just so as for convenience sake that if I do die to Cerberus, I shouldn't. I really shouldn't. But you know, I'm not a speedrunner, and I want to make this a little bit watchable. So I don't want to have to refarm all of the stuff. I might just also cut this out. Unless, of course, you want to laugh at me failing simple jumps. Right, there we go. Also, I wanted to test the Medusa Familiar, so we can do that on the way back. So I did select the card combination. Now I press L, and this summons the Familiar. And she doesn't do anything until I actually attack. Now she attacks with me. Nice hit. 80. Okay, that's quite nice actually. And the MP consumption is not too bad, so that's good. So we can keep this on. Of course, all of these cards, because they are randomized, it means that... Nice. It does mean that their damage might be overtuned for now, but it's going to be extremely fair later on, I think, because, as I mentioned, it was absolutely terrible originally. Also, enemies do have invincibility, so if I hit them with my... Please. If I hit this guy with my whip, then it does mean that this is why Axe is good against him, by the way. Easy triple hits. That does mean that Medusa cannot deal damage. See here? That's why sometimes it's a 36 damage by Medusa and sometimes it's a 15 damage by my whip. So I have to actually get a little bit away from it. And there we go. Use the X. Always use all of your tools and resources. Like in Mega Man. And there we go, very nice. Also got a nice healing potion. I think this is a high potion, that's good. Enemy's dead. Contrary to most Castlevanias, you don't get a full heal after killing a boss in circle. I'll turn this off for now. And what do we have here? Just an HP max. So no progression item, but we did get our progression item because we can stone enemies with our whip. So that means that there are some checks that are open, as I said, that didn't used to be open before. So let's see if I can't progress one room further down, actually. Don't think that I need to save or anything. What we have here is, right, I have to kill this guy so that it's not in the way. Okay, let's see if we can stone a mummy and then get up here. Oh, there's a second one. 1, 2. Good. There's a third one. Oh, forgot about. Okay, out of my way, please. Another one. I don't actually have to kill that. Ah. Well, I can't stone a mummy to get up here because the mummy is on the floor below. That's something an experienced runner would know, of course. Do I want the stopwatch? I mean, actually, if I have to do Necromancer next, then I actually want to have the eggs, because it's the other boss where the eggs is pretty good against. Also something I learned from Jupiter Climbs videos. So we can't progress through the normal way, but there are some other ways and some other checks. Because I don't have double jump, I don't have the kick boots, and the default dash, always go in this room when I try to backtrack, won't help me much. You might notice the counter number 3, by the way, I haven't explained that yet. That is the counter for how many magic items there are. Magic items meaning not items that increase your health or mana or hearts. These are like whatever items, you don't need those. But the extra items that the items that actually do something permanently, like the cards, like the movement bonuses, and I think that's about it. Right, but I can actually, I'm pretty sure that I can get up to the next check up there, because now I can stone a spirit to help me get up there. So that's the next thing I'm going to do. I also don't think that I checked everything here. I definitely missed a secret room here or there, but we'll get to that when we get to that. So here, as I said last time, couldn't get up there, but I'm actually going to change the setup to the stone whip. It's a bit easier. And let me summon a spirit, please. Where's the spirits? Had this exact same issue last time. The spirits stopped spawning. I think I have to trigger them at this point and then go goad them over here. So that's good. Yeah, like that. And then we can stone it and use it as a platform. Yeah, of course. Much better. So this is the issue with requiring a double tap to jump. You have to double tap and barely move forward, so that you can use an enemy as a narrow platform like that. Come on, man. Yes, circle can be a little bit obnoxious sometimes. That's fine. The lingering explosion hitbox. Yeah. Again, if you ask why didn't I just dash up there, it's because you have to double tap input. Ugh. There we go. Alright, alright, alright. Cool, so what do we have here? Just a health up. Okay. I mean, it's still kind of worth it. It was a bit obnoxious, but this is what the randomizer sometimes requires you to do. At this point in the original seed, I did have the kick boots, as I said, so this was much easier. Though I also got a stone combo very early on, so that's also very interesting. Actually, don't need this anymore. So let's see, where do we go next? I don't think that there are secret rooms specifically here anymore. So I can go back towards the start. There is definitely a check there, which I remember, where you have to use the stone whip on the brain floats. It's the wrong room. And we can progress from there, hopefully. So let's see here. Also, a secret tactic is if you have a somewhat high defense, like I have at the moment, you can just keep running, because there is only knockback in circle when you are in the air. This is a very secret technique. I think up here I can't get anything, but I will check it right now, just so that I don't talk out of my ass. Because this, yep, this is a block that you need the, what's it called? Not the heavy ring, but the stone ring for... Anyway, you need the shoulder dash, bash, whatever. Keep thinking there is something up there, but there is not. It's just a weird corner. More damage now. Actually, does the stone whip deal more damage? It does. Interesting. Yeah, I was given that this would happen. Nope. Alright. Still nothing. Of course, it is worth checking if they have an interesting drop, because I know we already know that a very nice drop is the double grips from the. Before I go up here, I think I will save. There should be a save from directly above me, from the stoneheads. Boneheads, man, words. But you can never know. They might just drop, I don't know, heart up level 1. Going to change this aspect to the Medusa because it's actually quite useful. Just have to finagle it correctly. Oh wait, I need the stones right now. Never mind. Just for traversal in the next room might be useful. No, actually I need her right now. Need to stone somebody immediately, so excuse me, didn't think ahead. Yeah, so this is something where you can get up if you can stone an enemy. Like so, if the enemies play along. There we go. There we go. I think I can't get up here, but I can check this. And it is a card, Venus. What does Venus do again? Experience points from walking. Cool, whatever. Okay, so this isn't very useful. Now the question is, can I goad this guy over here and stone him? Doesn't look like it. Can't do that, right? Yeah, you can't do that. And they're gone. Yeah, I think this is not possible. Unless, of course, that is in the... in one of the 2 check locations. But I think I'm gonna try and see if I can't get up somewhere else first. Heal real quick. Said heal real quick. Interesting start for sure. Hope that I don't miss something completely obvious. The last sea was a bit easier. I did actually get to the next boss there before I stopped playing and said that, yeah, this is definitely working for me and in general. But again, if I wander around too much, I can just cut that out. Have I been to the right? I have not. Is that a room where I can go? No, no. My instincts were correct. Here you definitely need the so-called heavy ring. Can I stone a bat? Is that going high enough? No. Is that guy going to come over enough? Probably not going up the slope, right? Yeah, I don't think so. Okay, so this is locked off to me as well. And the lingering hitbox on that. I mean, it's well made. It's just a little bit annoying. There is definitely nothing here, of course. Yeah, 0, 0. As one can see, it's a different location officially. So I can't do anything up here. I can't stone a bat. So I'll just have to see what I missed. Well, well. God damn it. I knew I had missed the secret room somewhere. And there we have it, the double jump I needed. Great. Jesus Christ, that took way too long. I don't even know how much. I think like 10 minutes, 15 minutes of just wandering around. Of course I will spare you that. So, let's get back to Cerberus's room, huh? You see, this is just a big room. There's a lot of exits, and you know, the one on the bottom, you think you have it covered, but no, you don't, because that's not actually connection to the large room. Oh, by the way, while you were away and I was wandering around, I did get the second double grips. Did get a bronze armor. I got some more healing items. I'm not going to show those off on this. Of course, I didn't get any random super drops because, you know, there is no cards here to get. But also nothing spicy otherwise. But hey, yeah, now we have a lot of mobility. As I said, I could put the double grips on right now. Probably not gonna do it until I have like a significant challenge ahead of me where I'm like, it would be nice to have this against like a boss that takes too long to die or whatever. But for now I'm quite happy with that. You know, that there was an extra secret room somewhere. Jesus Christ, yeah. Anyway, now I can just easily do that. I actually tried doing these again, but you know. I could also do the brain float room at the very start, but I'm not going back there now. But we're just going to go here and progress from here. By the way, this is usually the first secret room I find. And of course it's nothing special, but yeah. Anyway. Super stupid, but okay. That's just how this game is. Of course, when you don't remember all of the secret rooms in the randomizer, sometimes you get burned a little. Time for one of the most catchy music here. Actually, now I can go back down and check the brain float room before the music gets too catchy for me. Because why not? There might be something super special hidden here. And after all, I do need one more check. So there is the one. There are a few. Actually, I don't need the Medusa right now because now I can double jump, but I do need the whip. Every time I decide, hey, why not take out Medusa, I do in fact need the whip soon. So I'm of course talking about up here and here, the brain floats. These are the enemies I was talking about. I do need the stone whip for. It's gonna suck a little, but I'll make it work. I'm good at this game. Also have the double jump now, of course. This without the double jump, that would really suck. There we go, jump, jump, and it's just a life up. Okay, I'm happy that I checked, because otherwise this would vex me forever, probably. Right. And now with quick run, heart, they drop hearts. I have seen them drop something before, but the enemy name thing was obscuring my what I did actually get. That's fine though. Let's get back up here. As I said, for me, one of the catchiest pieces of music here, the crumbling old sanctuary. I think there is a secret room here. Yep. You can tell from the pixels. You actually can. So now I'm actually going to use the Medusa. Just for the damage. Sorry, I really like this part. So this is an adaptation by a Bloodline song from the Genesis game, as far as I know. So you can tell the secret rooms, by the way, they're not completely unfair like an Aria, where you can't tell at all, but there would have to be a pixel here, but there is not, so there is no secret room here. So the wall is slightly discolored, it's slightly off, and you can slightly tell it. By the way, this is something I want to show off. Usually there would be a big Iron Maiden here, but this is the setting I changed, so now I can go here early into the underground waterway and check it out. And in some settings this is required, but this water here, it damages you, as you can see, and then you have to take damage if you want to go in here and check it out. Also, do you see this right in front of me? 1 pixel tells you that here is a frozen shade which you can kill. And this is actually something I've seen speedrunners do. Oops, that was stupid. They do actually kill this frozen shade repeatedly because it gives you a shitload of experience points. It takes just a while to kill. And it's dangerous, of course. But immediate level up, 2 level ups even, because it gives a lot of experience as recompensation for how long it takes to kill. And the rainbow rope, of course, is it's very good. Yeah, you know what? Let's be overpowered. These are the double grips. They don't do anything on its own, but if they do, check the stats out. Boom! That's a lot of stats. In every single stat you get a 75-point increase. So now we are overpowered as all hell, and you know what? It's fine. I don't mind. This is just going to make traverse a little bit easier. You could tell that I was just from walking around the circus a little bit. It wasn't too difficult for me to progress so far anyway. And as I said again, I've played the game a few times, so the normal traversal is probably not going to kill me. So yeah, just bear with me and accept that the randomizer sometimes it giveth, while oftentimes it takes. So I don't remember exactly where the most optimal checks here are, of course. Just watch out for secret rooms and the walls, I guess. Yeah, this is the bronze armor I'm wearing. I was wearing before I got the rainbow robe, because the skeletons just drop it. So that's nice. Might be a secret room I overlooked here at some point. Out of habit I usually hit the walls anyway, just because it's quicker than going like ice training for pixels. But yeah, now just by sliding I can kill a lot of enemies already. Oh yeah, whenever you change directions, by the way, you have to keep double pressing, and that does get a little bit old fast, but you know, it's just the way it is on this bitch of an earth sometimes. But you do get a little bit more control if you're not running on the smaller jumps. So it's a trade-off, but you know, you have full air control here, so this is not an old Castlevania. There is one other corner that pretty much looks like this, and this one always fools me. Where there is a secret room. I think top left here, maybe? Let's see. But yeah, by not running everywhere, sometimes it's a little bit easier to do some jumps. There it is. See? Discoloration on the wall. Very easy to tell, of course. Yeah, it's kind of once you know that it's there, then you can spot it. So it's a bit stupid. By the way, all of these armor pickups that I get, you would think that, oh, that's nice, you can sell them later for big money. No, you can't. There is no shop in this game. There is no economy. This is just, you will just clog your inventory with stuff forever. And it's just the way it is. Can't progress up here. Right, exactly. But I should be able to go on somewhere else. That's a bit unfortunate, but this is a very basic game in many ways, and I actually like it because of that. I think a game that is very focused and knows exactly what it's doing, there is one up here, discolored, is much preferable to a maximalist approach, where the game is just doing like all the things at once. And I know Symphony does that, and I know a lot of people are super enamored with, oh, there are like tons of different items that do some goofy one-off shit, and I get it, it's fun, but gameplay-wise, I prefer this approach. It's just a personal preference, where it's just like, okay, the game knows exactly what it wants. It is just a few mechanics, a strong focus on them, and even here you still have stuff like you have sub-weapons and magic, and of course the normal whip. You can modify your whip in many ways, so it's relatively complex for what it is, but it's not overwhelmingly so. The biggest flaw really is that in the vanilla game it's extremely hard to get to even get the magic, because it's so rare for the cards to drop. It really should be like massively improved drop rates, but this is one of the biggest advantages of the randomizer, of course, is that you can just get the cards as normal items on a pedestal, where you really don't care about your 20th magic up, but your first card is really nice. Also, by the way, one of the stupidest secret rooms. You see this one pixel here on the floor? Even when sliding over it, you can't get down there, but you can use the super secret, it's the whip spin technique, which is completely useless otherwise, but not completely, there are some uses for it, but yeah, this one is definitely not one I found without a guide or watching a video or whatever. But there can be something hidden here, of course. I was glossing over the previous area, but I did notice that there were no items there, no special items, so I just got what was on the way, and now I'm continuing here. Also something about this castle in general, it's pretty expansive, and you can get quickly from one kind of area to another one, which I kind of like. Ooh, I will take the cross. The cross is really good in this game. It's really good in many games, but it's also quite good in this one. So, brain floats up here can do the trick again. What do you mean with trick? That is exactly what they are designed to do. Let's start from here. This was almost cool. They can attack, as you can see here. but that rarely happens unless you dawdle. Whew, this might take a little bit. Oof. Whew, finally, Jesus. Okay, let's see what we have here. Please, okay. Mirror armor, is that good? I don't know. Let's turn this crazy shit off. Okay, so where do I go from here? Here. And that's it. That's all for an MP max. Oh my god. Okay. You know what? Next save point and I'm done for this session because Jesus Christ. There is more up there, but I can't get it right now. And back inside we go. Was fun though. Kind of, once I did it. You can't really do that with the slide. Can do it while just running though. Is that a save point? No, that's an item though. Yay! Nothing here, interesting. Right, we are back down here, so the outer wall we'll have to wait and see. But as I said, we leave it at that. It was easily another 10 minutes just wasted on the brain flutes. But yeah, you know, it's a tough challenge, isn't it? Let's review what we have. Can't do much on the room above. There is one more item check though, I think. Can't do much to the top left. But for now it's just normal progression, so we probably have to go down and around again, kill the Necromancer, and see where we can find the next progression item. Please have it be the Griffin Wing so I don't have to do the brain float stuff again. For now, I hope this was interesting for you, as fun and sometimes frustrating it was for me. That's a randomized experience, and I thank you very much for your attention.